This one's coming from Nicholas, who says, if you're Southgate and you're watching tonight, how is Trent not your right wing-back in a 3-4-3? The service and set pieces are more than enough to help England be more creative in attack.
Well, he's certainly in my squad. I mean, there's even been question marks about whether Gareth Southgate's going to take him to Qatar. No brainer for me. He's got to be in the squad. I think he's probably the best going forward. Of that, there is no doubt. I understand and I get it defensively against better opposition. The further the tournament goes, you can play Trent in all the qualifying games, the 3 group games, no problem at all. The question mark would be defensively later on when you're playing a France, you're playing a Germany, when you're playing a Spain. Would he change it? But he's in the squad for me all day.
Gents?
Well, you're up against probably one of the best players in the squad, aren't you, Reece James? I was looking through the squad the other day and thinking, if you're putting our players in categories, are they one of the best 5 players in that position in the world? I got to Kane and I got to Reece James, and then I was struggling. So Trent is up against one of, in my opinion, one of the best right backs, one of the best wing backs, as Nicholas suggested he plays, in the world, and that's, I mean, it's a position that is very strong in this country. So. Southgate, it's not. We're all talking about Trent now. Southgate was not playing him quite a while ago. We were seeing signs that he wasn't really that keen on Trent a year, maybe even longer.
He didn't play in the Euros, did he?
Exactly. So he's not. He spotted something early on that he didn't really want to commit to, and he's stuck to that.
And for him as a player, does he just have to remove all of this thought from his mind and just do his football day in, day out?
Well, the only way you can control this situation is by performance.
Yeah.
And then even then, it's still out of his hands, because the manager, sometimes they make a decision on a player and go, do you know what, he ain't for me, or he's one of my favourites. And I agree with Mo. I think Gareth Southgate has already kind of made a decision with Trent. In the Euros, you saw that he wasn't one of the first names on the team sheet, and that was in a period where he was absolutely flying. Yeah. So he's in a position now where he's out of form. He's been out of form. Like Michael said, Reece James, you would say in the league this season has been the best right back by quite a distance, and he's fighting for that position. And then I think even Trippier is probably ahead of Trent in Gareth Southgate's eyes. Now, listen, I think we look at the way that the Liverpool team shaped up today. What you've got to ask the question is Gareth Southgate willing to make another player sacrifice a part of their game to be an insurance policy for the right wing back position? And I don't think Gareth Southgate is willing to do that from what I've seen up to this point.
But even if you put him in, then Reece James isn't in, and then all the question marks are about why isn't Reece James playing every game for England? So.
Could you take? This is maybe unique. Would you take him as a substitute potentially to win you a game? If you need a goal, is he the type of player playing wide in the right you bring on to win you, to get a goal for you? It's a real dilemma.
How the game's changed, bringing on a right back to win you a game of football, but that's what he could do.
Absolutely, that's my point. That's why I think he should always be in the squad.
Yeah. Well, there's 26 players now you can take. It's not like when we were. And when it was 22, 23 when we used to go. So there's another 3 players. If Trent Alexander-Arnold can't get in the England squad, I think it's a joke for me. I don't care. Even though people are saying defensively, and yes, defensively there's been frailties in his game, but they're things that I don't think they're basics that I think he can iron out, and I think he will do. But for what he gives you going forward, this guy has to be minimum in this squad.